Hi everybody, I'm Natalie and this is As the Pennies Drop, and today we're going to be talking to Gemma, who is an amazing inspirational person even, who has been able to transform her life through movement. Gemma was diagnosed with MS about 7 years ago, and we're going to basically go through that story with Gemma to understand what it was like when she was first diagnosed, and how through taking a different approach, finding that leverage, that key driver to literally transform her life in all areas of her life, how she's able to now run marathons. Seriously, I mean, this girl is an absolute legend. And what I'd like you to take from this is that, if you have just been diagnosed with MS, or if you are struggling in other areas of your life, it's when you get that key driver, that leverage, you get enough leverage through, whether that's through pain or through inspiration, that that you've made that decision that going back is no longer an option. So yeah, before I introduce you to Gemma, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to notify you of when I am posting my next videos. I generally post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, so Gemma, hi, how are you?
Hi Natalie, I'm great, thank you. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today and spreading your amazing transformation message to the world. So we're going to start just by asking you, like, basically the first question really is, you were diagnosed 7 years ago with MS. How did that actually feel, getting that message? And how did you learn to cope with that in the beginning?
Oh my word, it's so long ago, wasn't it? So long ago. Well, I was diagnosed after, the thing is, it went on for so long. It was a good 6 months before I was diagnosed. So I went through most of the pain before being diagnosed. I just had a baby, so I assumed it was all to do with that. But I went through a very traumatic time. It's very stressful. It's very scary. Literally, something has come and taken over your body. You don't know what's going on. I didn't know what's going on. It's awful. How did I cope? I didn't. I fell apart. I completely fell apart. Everything fell apart. My life was upside down, and it was horrendous. And then eventually things happened. I lost my eyesight. I got diagnosed, but by that time I'd been through a lot of it without understanding it. So I'd been through all the scary part, and then I was a little bit more in control by the time I did get diagnosed. And I guess I was kind of like, well, do you know what? I'm a strong bird. I've probably got this. And I just chose to ignore it, to be quite honest.
And how did ignoring it actually, so if you ignore, how did that actually help or hinder you?
It didn't help at all, not in the slightest. Did it hinder me? To start with, no, because I then, by the time I got diagnosed, decided that, do you know what, these were just things that I had to now deal with. I didn't want to go on drugs. I wanted to tackle it by myself, and that's what I was going to do. And it was kind of okay-ish. And then I fell pregnant again. And when you're pregnant, your symptoms don't really show because your body is now protecting your baby. So I was kind of had 9 months of non-MSing, I guess. So I was kind of safe. So until I had my second child, I'd already done with the nitty gritty, the horrible hard bit already without knowing what was going on. And then I got pregnant again. So it wasn't until I had my second child that boom, it came out again.
And when you're saying it came out, what was it? Literally all of those symptoms again? Did the eyesight go, or?
It was such a blur. It was a horrible time. Depression was a massive thing, because if you can imagine, you're quite a strong person. I was already kind of into fitness and stuff, and having my freedom and my life and being in control of my life. And suddenly, not only did children take that away, but also this monster of an illness that had taken over my body kind of stripped me of everything that I already was. It's almost as if I wasn't me anymore. I kind of, something else had taken over. I had no control. So I was really, really depressed. My eyesight was poor. My feeling, I struggled with doing stuff. My bear with me.
Cognitive.
Thank you. Cognitive.
That one.
Which is very much still all over the place. That was so it was, I'm not going to say I was suicidal, because that's probably a bit too heavy, but I wanted it to stop. I wanted everything to go. I just wanted, my life was horrendous. Coping with not being able to move my arms, not being able to see properly, some days not being able to, my legs wouldn't kind of play ball with me, not being able to, and something's happening and there's nothing you can do about it. It's really scary. It's a really horrible time that was quite literally horrendous, to be honest.
And you had 2 kids, 2 basically very small little children as well, trying to look after them.
Yeah, everything was terrible. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I just lost my parents as well, so I had nowhere to run, nowhere to go. It was just little me, petrified, scared, not being able to use my body the way I normally did, certainly not being able to use my head the way I normally did, and I had no control over anything. It was just a dark time.
It sounds horrendous. I mean, I know some people with MS, and I know how debilitating it can get, and it just sounds absolutely scary and horrendous. So thank you so much. I hope that didn't open up too much pain talking about what it was like then. I can see you smiling, so clearly not. But what was it then that made you go, I've got to take charge of my life. I've got to get my life back. I can't keep living like this. I've got to do something. When did that kind of, when you were diagnosed, how long did it take for you to kind of get that, I'm done with living like this. I'm not going to live like this anymore. And what was that driver? What was that leverage that forced you into change?
Okay. So I guess it was probably roughly 2 years, I guess, after being diagnosed, to the point where I got to the bottom of the bottom, and something made me say, I've got to do something. This can't go on. So whilst I'd like to use my children as an excuse, and I do quite often, I did need to do something for my children, because now I was a mum. There was no escape. I couldn't turn to things that in the past I may have done. I had to do something responsibly. I had to pulling myself together wasn't, a good kick up the bum. That wasn't doing the trick, which was something I'd always done before. So I needed to do it for my kids. But you know what, Natalie, I needed to do it for me. Actually, I'd lost me. I'd lost everything I was. I wasn't me anymore. I don't know what I was, but so I had to do it for me, because I had to become me again, to be the mum to my children that they deserved. And so I kind of,
before you just,
I needed.
Yeah, sorry, Gemma, just didn't mean to interrupt. Just before you go on, so when you say you wanted to be you again, how were you not? What words would you use to describe how you were then, before you were like, I've got to be me again? What negative words would have been going through your mind about where you were before you decided, I've got to get me back?
Goodness me. Well, I guess I was quite negative, which I'm not. I was angry a lot, which I'm not. I was deflated. I was hugely deflated. I was fatigued. I was to the point where I'd given up everything. There wasn't every negative word you can think of. That's kind of who I felt I was. I didn't feel worthy. I felt weak. Weak and deflated, I think, is probably the best.
Okay. So then that moment came when you were like, right, what date? Yes. So sorry, how long was that after you were diagnosed?
About 2 years, I think, roughly 2 years.
So the 2 years of living that negative way of life, having that negative mindset, being in that pain, being scared and feeling lonely and responsible for your kids. What day was it that you kind of woke up and just went, enough?
I can see it. It's not gonna help anything at all. I can see exactly as it happened. I was just in the kitchen, shakily trying to make a bottle of milk or something for one of the children, and I was crying. I think I was crying. I can't remember. And I was just like, I've got to, and I don't know what made me say to myself, well, I'm going to run. I've got to run. I've got to. Was it run or was it keep fit? But I had to kind of move my body. I I wanted something that was mine, something that I'd done before, which I was in the gym and stuff before, as I was in your classes.
Yeah.
It's something that was me, that I enjoyed, that took me away from everything else just for that space of time. And I needed to do that. I needed to move again and be a bit more Gemma that I had been previously. And that's something that I did love doing, that I got okay at doing, and something that I just thought, I don't know what else I can do. That's a bit of me, and I want that back. So I'm gonna do that, I guess.
Brilliant, brilliant. And so then, what did you do?
I did exactly that. I think because I just had a baby, you've got to wait so long before you can start doing anything. So I think I immediately went on YouTube and downloaded some HIIT workouts, which was great. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. So I did some HIIT workouts at home, which is fabulous, and I've got moving. My body didn't necessarily want to. My MS, which I guess I now call my little friend, kind of put up a bit of a fight, and but I could feel the muscles, and the reactions to my body was almost as if it was saying, "Oh God, she's moving, she's doing something. You can't work with this." So I did my HIIT workouts at home, but again, I've got 2 small children running around, and that's not necessary. It was good, and it felt good on my body, and it's what I needed for sure. And each day I felt a bit of improvement in what I was doing, and I was a bit still me, and I did have a bit of that left in me, but I still needed my time. I needed my space, and that wasn't giving me the space that I particularly think I needed personally. So I got online and got myself a treadmill to get on there, just me on my own in a room, just focused on what I'm doing, moving my legs. Again, my MS played up a little bit in that. I don't know, it could kind of had this numbness thing going on throughout my body, but it was a good sign, as if I was saying to the illness, that's it, I'm back, I'm in control, you're gonna have to get used to it, we'll take it slow and steady, but this is where we're gonna go. So yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. So that's basically the massive action that you took. And had you tried anything before? And had you tried before you had that kind of day of, right, that is it. I'm going to run, I'm going to move, I'm going to do the HIIT sessions, I'm going to make it work for me, and I'm going to take that control back. Had you tried any other approaches beforehand, or was that like the, you know, prior to getting to that day of like when you were shaking the milk and crying? Had you tried anything prior?
I think I did try. Again, it was fitness again, because it's something that I feel is important, moving your body. So I did try after my first child going back to the gym, but because I was still getting used to this illness, and it's hard, and I struggled with it. I didn't feel comfortable with it. I was scared of movement. I was scared of all of those things. So I think I gave up quite soon, and I gave up quite early. I still kind of plod on with things, but I wasn't necessarily feeling it here, because I was still, you know, it's a scary process to go through, and to kind of, you have to learn what your body's capable of and what it will let you do. And you know, so I dabbled a little bit with stuff like that, but and yeah, sorry, you're asking me what other steps I took.
Well, no, that was it. Perfect. That's it. So basically you tried it, and you took an approach, and obviously you didn't have enough of that kind of leverage to continue, because you were scared, quite rightly so. So yeah, it was just kind of seeing if there were any other approaches, because I guess for the audience that are going to be watching this, it's for them to realize that it's okay to have an approach and for it not to work. And you might give up for a bit, but then you can come back and you can try another approach and another approach and another approach. And that's the resourcefulness that you have inside you, that has, you know, after 2 years of being diagnosed, has got you to, right, I'm not having it like this anymore. I'm taking charge. I'm taking control. You made a decision. You were certain. You found the approach eventually that worked for you. And you knew from that day forwards, there was no going back. So just share with the kind of, with the people that are going to be watching this at home, who've got MS, or just people that need to feel inspired by you, because you're so inspirational. Just give us a flavor now of what type of exercise you do, because seriously, it will blow you away.
Me personally, goodness, okay, I will do any exercise actually, but my love is running. My love is running, and because I'm very lucky to live right by the ocean, so it gets me out every day, and I can get to the ocean every day. I run 6 days a week, because it doesn't cost anything. Like I said, it gets me out of the house. I have to get out really early. It clears it for me. And my illness, I think, because we suffer fatigue quite badly, it really charges my batteries that last me throughout the day. So I like to run. But then if I get fatigued during the day, which I do, I like to do a little workout of the evenings. So 6 evenings a week, I'll just do some strength work, some strengthening work, things like that. But then any type of exercise, I've got children, we'll go out, I'll go scooting, I've got a bicycle, I'll go riding. And it's just that whatever gets my endorphins pumping, gets me going, gets a bit of a sweat on. But then, of course, you don't need to sweat because yoga is just as good. I know many people with my illness that just practice yoga and they get huge benefits from it, massive benefits. So that's a good key. That's a good one to try. Everything, swimming, all of it. I will try anything and I will do anything that's moving my body, that's freeing my mind. Massively important to free your mind. So everything is all about just being you and just going with it and be happy and move about and breathe in air and get outside and eat well and all of that. So yeah.
Exactly. And and it's exactly what Gemma said, is it is movement. It's that movement of just getting out of bed in the morning, that movement of walking downstairs, that movement of just walking outside for a few minutes. Whatever it is that makes you feel that sense of enjoyment, that sense of fulfillment, that you've done something for yourself, you've given yourself some kind of that self-care, that self-love. And I just want to pose this question because you didn't actually go into it, but I'm really excited about highlighting this to you. How many marathons have you run, Gemma, since you decided to take charge of your life?
Marathons 5, half marathons probably about 20.
Yeah.
Anything. But do you know why? Because it's a challenge, isn't it? It's a challenge. And when I come home and my children say, "How did you get on, Mummy? Did you win?" And I'm like, "Oh, do you know what? I didn't win, but I bet you any money I was the fastest person with MS that ran that marathon. So I'm going to say, yes, I did win. I absolutely did win. And you know what? Each time I get better and better and better. And I meet new people along the way. All have got their own stories, all have got their own everything. And it's opened up a massive world of just, it's not about what's wrong with you. It's about embracing and enjoying the outside and the fitness and the struggle that some people have got. And some people are big and they plod on anyway. And some people are fast and some people are this, that and the other. But we're all just outside freeing ourselves and enjoying it. So yeah, anyway, sorry, 5 marathons.
5, that's amazing. That's absolutely incredible. And, if you were to, I'm going to ask you about whether you have any negative days, because obviously we know that MS it's painful. It's like you've had a workout without even having a workout on your body. But what words would you use now to describe the Gemma now? And do you feel like you've got Gemma back?
Okay, so yes, there are painful, there are hard times. Sorry, I think we started off by saying that there are. Yesterday I had one, for sure I did. I did too much, I worked too hard, and I felt ill, I felt sick from it, I felt really fatigued come the evening. But then I know that tomorrow's going to be okay. We'll just do it all again tomorrow. I've forgotten what the last bit you just said, home was.
That's okay. So it was basically, what positive words. So I was saying that, I kind of understand that there'll be some negative days because of the pain that MS can cause or does cause the body, which we'll come on to. But how would you describe you? Do you feel like you've got the essence of Gemma back now? What kind of positive words would you use to describe yourself now?
Oh, okay, cool. Yes, I definitely have got Gemma back. She's slightly different because there's a battle going on as well that's not getting any better. Nothing's getting any better. But so I'd say, but I'm more so me. So I'm more positive, more fulfilled. I find myself more inspired by many things. So I'm positive, I'm lively, much more outgoing, much more determined. And strong, yeah, I'd say. Do you know what? I'm really a lot stronger than I ever thought I was, because I remember the question you asked right by the beginning was when I was first diagnosed. I was like, do you know what? I'm a strong bird. I can handle this. Well, I had no idea I was as strong as I actually am. So, yeah, it's strong, definitely.
Brilliant. That's amazing. What an amazing transformation. And this came about because you chose to take action, because you found that leverage. You were done with that old life. You were like, no, I'm not living like this. And you can feel it, like your energy is oozing out of the screen as we speak right now. And it's absolutely incredible to see. Just because you took that leverage, you found that leverage, you took massive action, you tried different approaches. Yeah, you might have had times where you gave up, but you found that leverage, you found the right approach for you. And that is movement. And that is in any way, shape or form. It doesn't have to be running. Like you said, it can be yoga. It can be, you know, like I said, getting out of bed in the morning. It can be just walking down the road to go and get the pint of milk rather than getting in the car to get the pint of milk. It's all these things that kind of add up to making you feel so good. And then as you can all see, everybody, with Gemma, you know, the movement creates that emotional state of positivity, which creates a positive language, which gives her that focus, that absolute focus to get through her days. And she knows that it's going to be painful the next day. So, you know, and it's going to be the same kind of like, no, I'm doing this. I'm determined. I'm focused. I'm strong. I've got this. So that kind of leads me on to, do you ever feel like reverting back? Do you ever have those negative days where you just think, I just want to stay in bed all day and curl up and hide?
For sure. Most days, to be honest, most days when I wake up, I don't want to get up. I don't want to do any of it because it's hard. It's really hard. But then I know how it feels when I do it. I know how it feels once you get going. It starts feeling better. A couple of glasses of water, you start feeling better. And then once I get out the door, I never ever want to get out the door ever. But once I get out the door, once I get going, then there's just a whole sense of everything is just kind of lifted, and it's lovely. And it's either something gentle that's fulfilling because you're outside and moving, or if you're doing something quite strenuous, then you've got that afterwards. You've got that, do you know what? Yeah, I did do that. I did that. But either way, I don't recall ever, or anyone ever saying that workout of any sort was really rubbish, and I really wish I hadn't done it. I don't ever recall anyone saying that, because no matter what, it's always going to make you feel good. If it was tough, it will feel good when it's over. If it was lovely, it will feel good when it's over. But every time that you get up and you make yourself get up, you make yourself get out and do something, you will always feel better, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And they always say, when I was doing a lot of my running, they always say, you know, you never regret a run. And it's true, you just don't. Even if it, and I've run in a lot of pain before with injuries, which I don't recommend, but yeah, it's literally kind of like, even though you've been in pain and you've been running and you're thinking, I just don't know how I'm going to do that extra step, that extra mile, and then you get back and you're like, that achievement, and that's when the endorphins kind of go, and here you go. Here's that love feeling now. Here's that positive feeling now. Here's that amazing emotional state that you've been looking for just through that movement. So it's absolutely incredible. So are there any other, I guess my final question is, and then I'll come back to you with a brief summary. So what other areas in your life has this had an impact on? So I know, for example, you are part of a running club now, or the park runs. So anyone that's watching this that's not in the UK, we do park runs, which basically take place every Saturday. It's a 5K run, and it's a real good community spirit. So apart from like the park runs, I know that's created a massive community of support for you. What else can you look at your life and go, wow, I've changed this, this is transformed, this is transformed, this is transformed, because you now know yourself better?
So, well, like you said, the park run, I don't really understand the question that well, Natalie, to be honest. I do the park run. I've met lots of people on Strava, which is the running app, that I've then met up with, that have taken me different places and shown me introduced me to different styles of fitness, of running, for example. But I've met a lot of friends through there, that then we kind of chat out of running and we discuss it. And then if they, you know, they've got problems of their own and they're tackling stuff of their own, and then they'll call on me, and it's like a little family. It really is. And we get out, we meet up, we go running on the coastal paths together, we go running beach together. They take me places I've never been. I take them places I've never been, and so on and so forth. And then all my girlfriends, to be honest, all my girlfriends from the school runs, they've all started running with me. None of them run at all. 2 of them have done 3 half marathons and so we meet up, we do stuff like that. We meet up and do HIIT classes in the school field on the holidays, because I'm like, you know what, come on girls, let's do it, and don't fall on me for anything. There's just a whole sense of community around anything to do with fitness. I think everyone wants to get involved and join in, don't they?
They do, exactly. So I think the question, which obviously was badly worded for me earlier, it's great that you've got this community support and that you're encouraging through basically taking control of your life, taking charge of you and finding you again. You're able to help people kind of with their movement as well. So contributing back, that's incredible. I think that what I was asking is, because now you've found you again, has that, when you look at your life as it was and you look at it now, has that transformed any other areas of your life at all? Have had like that knock-on effect?
Okay, I guess. Well, it's just taught me to look after myself better. I think that kind of look after my body, listen to my body more. I eat a lot better, and I try, it's hard. I try to mentally feel better about myself and be a bit more self-positive. But I don't tend to spend so much time looking at myself, but I do try, and I'm aware of the importance of that. But I think the knock-on effect is that, it's just taught me to kind of, to treat myself well. To move, to kind of treat my body well, to treat what goes in it well, to kind of get out and to breathe in nicer air and to just be a bit more healthy or conscious about myself, I guess,
and be Gemma again. Excellent. Gemma, thank you so much. This has been absolutely incredible. You really are a massive inspiration, and what Gemma has shone a light on is that the movement, the fuel and the mindset, it has all completely transformed, and you can literally, she's oozing positivity, every single day, even though she does wake up and has that pain that she has to deal with, and that kind of negative feeling first thing, it's overcoming that, knowing that, going backwards isn't an option. So if you can take anything from this video, is that, anything is possible when you change your mindset, when you move, when you find that leverage, when you make that decision, when you try different approaches, continue to try to get that approach that works for you. It's that not giving up, it's that resourcefulness inside you and finding that power within you, knowing that, and again, that helps you find you again as a person as well. So a massive thank you to Gemma. Gemma, did you want to just finish off with one last a message to anybody that's got MS or that's struggling, and any inspiring words at all?
I don't know if they're going to be hugely inspiring, but it's just because I know what it's like to be in that dip. I know what it's like to be in that dark place where it's easier just to kind of hibernate and forget about the world and stuff. But if you do get up and if you do just get out or get moving or do something, you will feel better for it, and you can. I'm not getting rid of MS or my MS. It's very much still present in my body for sure, but I've kind of taught myself to work with it and to understand it and to find out what I can do with it, and to kind of, we work together, me and MS, and I think everyone can do that. I think everyone I know with my illness that does some sort of workout at all is a lot happier than those that don't. So it's going to bring you happiness. If it's tiny, it doesn't matter, but do something because it just feels good. It will make you feel good. It will make you smile. Do something.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. And thank you so much. Thank you again so much. So yeah, everybody, that's Gemma and her amazing inspiration story. If you have any comments, please feel free to comment below. Again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon even, where you will get notified of all of my other videos that I will be uploading to YouTube. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.